From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, October 31st, 2016. Silver is trading at $17.83 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,273 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $703. Antiwar.com reports, mostly destroyed and no longer available, the prison in the Yemeni city of Hodeidah held 84 inmates until Sunday when Saudi Arabian warplanes repeatedly bombed it, killing at least 60 of the people within and wounding dozens of others. The exact number of prisoners killed compared to guards is unknown, though prisoners were said to be the vast majority. The prison was leveled in the attack, according to witnesses, and rescue workers are still looking through the rubble, with others believed trapped within. 3 airstrikes were targeted against the prison, with the first hitting it directly, bringing down the roof, and the follow-up attacks targeted the gates and the administration buildings. The Saudi coalition insisted the attacks were in keeping with targeting procedures, noting the prison was known to have Houthi security forces within. It is unclear who the prisoners generally were at the prison, but deliberately attacking a prison will doubtless add to concerns about Saudi standards for airstrikes against Yemen, which have killed massive numbers of civilians over the past 19 months.
Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need SpinABit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. SpinABit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit SpinABit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. SpinABit.co.
UPI reports a spectator drove into a crowd of people outside Martinsville Speedway on Sunday afternoon, injuring 22 people, though most were treated at the scene for minor injuries. Some bystanders suggested the driver purposely mowed down the crowd after hitting a Jeep SUV while apparently attempting to leave the crowded parking lot outside the stadium following the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series Goodies Fast Relief 500. Officials said a 2005 Chevrolet SSR convertible was trying to pass a Jeep in the handicap section of the parking lot after the race shortly before 6 p.m. Sunday evening, instead hitting the SUV and then driving into a crowd of pedestrians. Race spectator Russell Tipton told FoxSports.com, "We were just standing there watching people get on the helicopter and what have you, and there was a big cluster of people. Some guy, I don't know what his deal was, I heard him gas it up, and he just ran right through the crowd, running over people. It was crazy." While most injuries were minor, 9 of the 22 people hit were taken to nearby hospitals, though their injuries were said to be not life-threatening. The other injured individuals were treated at the scene.
For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
Reuters reports, although the sale of cannabis is a federal crime, the number of U.S. banks working with cannabis businesses, now sanctioned in many states, is growing, up 45% in the last year alone. Still, cannabis merchants say there are not nearly enough banks willing to take their money. So, many dispensaries resort to stashing cash in stored units, back offices, and armored vans. Proponents believe the November 8th election could tip the balance in favor of liberalizing federal cannabis laws, a move seen as key to getting risk-averse banks off the sidelines. Measures on ballots in California, Florida, and 7 other states could bring to 34 the number of states sanctioning cannabis for medicinal or recreational use, or both. That could, according to one estimate, push annual sales to $23 billion. Their proponents for a market of such scale is adding urgency to calls for a national approach to cannabis that expands banking options. Law enforcement and Federal Reserve officials have expressed concern about the fraud and crime associated with unbankable cash. Nearly 600 dispensary robberies have been reported in Denver since recreational cannabis was legalized in Colorado nearly 3 years ago. Representative Earl Blumenauer, a Democrat from Oregon who has called for decriminalization of cannabis since coming to Congress in 1996, said there's not a single human being who thinks there is any benefit at all in forcing cannabis businesses to be conducted on an all-cash basis. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.